are watching Touch of Class with Debbie Elliott. Welcome to Touch of Class with Debbie Elliott. I have a great guest today, Mrs. I should call you Dr. Stacy McAfee. Thank you for coming my show, and I'm going to have a great time with you. I hope we're going to have a great interview, and audience people also enjoyed. And if you have any question later, I will give you time to ask her question. So she is a vice president of UOP, and she came all the way from Stockton, far away. Thank you for coming. So could you speak about yourself a little bit to our camera so that people find out who you are? And
of course.
yes.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me in your lovely home and on your show, Debbie.
Thank you.
What a wonderful show. Thank you. My family is with me today. My husband of 31 years is with us in the audience. I have 2 sons and love a constant learner, love education and all that it has means to the people and the families that it impacts. And even more importantly, I love bringing people together to solve complex problems. So it's a wonderful opportunity to be with the university.
Wonderful. I read your bio and say the 2 adult son, but you look like 20 or 30, and you have an adult son?
Well, thank you. It's even more exciting to be on your program. It's very kind of you to say.
No, really.
A lot of excitement.
So
thank you.
And if you don't mind, how old are they?
They are 23 and 25. In fact, we had great excitement. Our youngest son was engaged, became betrothed in December. Yeah, so lots of fun in the family.
Yes. So they've been going to UOP or?
No, actually, they one attended Santa Clara University and the other attended Seattle University.
Seattle. We used to live there. I love the Washington State. It's beautiful. UOP, there is a Stockton, Sacramento, and the San Francisco. So you all engage those 3
correct
university. And mostly your job is supporting president and connecting all 3 university. And you still teach or no?
I unfortunately don't have a lot of time to teach. I love teaching. In fact, that started my career in higher education. My responsibilities, as you suggested, are to represent the president and the university in all 3 of our campuses in Northern California. And what that means is sometimes the university can be a very complex institution, and for people or businesses that want to engage with the university, it's hard to know who to begin with. So I'm present in our communities, listening, understanding what the opportunities and the problems are that the university may be a part of solving and impacting in a positive way. And so that's the primary opportunity that I have. It's a wonderful responsibility.
Great. Here saying 6,500 students.
Yes.
That's a lot. This is all 3 universities.
Yes.
3 UOP.
Yes.
Okay. What the difference UOP and any other state university or private university? What the difference?
Well, we are a private institution. I think we're very, very proud of the fact, for example, that a third of our undergraduate students are from this 4-county region. And about 87% of all the students we serve are from California.
Wow.
Nearly 70% are from Northern California, including right here in this 4-county region. So we believe that our ability to focus and to improve our communities by participating and being an active member of those communities is very important. We are not a heavy research institution like a University of California. But we do advance scholarship and research in ways that improve our communities. It may be in the area of bringing teledental services into communities where dental services aren't available, or changing the nature of the education system through innovations and improvements. And so we work very closely to make sure that when a student comes to University of the Pacific, they get a very student-centered liberal arts education, but also a professional education that prepares them for what will happen when they step outside of the university. Our faculty are great mentors and coaches.
So you're wonderful. Which UOP mostly you spend the time?
Well, if I was, I'd love to tell you that I spend my time equally across all communities. The truth is, I probably spend the majority of my time here in Stockton and San Joaquin, Sacramento as well, and then San Francisco with our campus there is also gets some of my attention. But it's hard to pull yourself away from Stockton. There's so much opportunity, and we do so much work within the community here in the Stockton and San Joaquin.
So Dr. Ibach, is she mostly stays Stockton or she does too?
She is very invested and active in Stockton and San Joaquin. In fact, her Beyond Our Gates is a wonderful exemplification of the work that we're doing to improve early literacy and outcomes that will advance the opportunity for youth to go forward and choose to do whatever it is they want in their life.
So you've been a long time experience for education field. How long you been UOP?
I am in my third year at the University of the Pacific.
Okay. So you where are you from? Originally California or?
No, I'm originally from the Midwest. I know that your husband Bob is from Kansas. I grew up in Northwest Illinois. And my husband in Iowa, and we actually met at Iowa State University as undergrad students.
Okay. So California is for 3 years?
No, we've actually, this is our 16th year in California.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you've been, before UOP, you've been in California somewhere else?
Yes.
Okay. So all the time education field?
Mostly education, yes. A little bit of small business on my part, but I was really drawn to higher education. I started teaching with a number of institutions and really loved the teaching and learning experience, watching what happens when you're learning from students and they're learning from you. And so I realized that I could take what I knew about business and incorporate that into not only the teaching in the classroom, but the administration. Important work in education today is ensuring that we are well connected with businesses and with communities, and that what we do reflects an understanding of our communities and the needs for not only high academics, but also an understanding of what happens in the workforce and the expectations for our students.
I was once a school teacher, and after graduate, they send me Christmas card years and years. That's most of the time I really enjoyed receiving a card or letter. So how they doing it after graduate. And I really enjoyed that teaching, but I didn't stay the field too long because I married and, well, actually I was a school teacher after I married, but he was a diplomat job. I couldn't work, so I have to quit. Anyway, we'll be back right away.
You are watching the Debbie Elliott Show right here on Comcast. Be sure to tune in every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and Thursday at 6 p.m. Thanks for watching.
At this moment, in Stockton, Sacramento, and San Francisco, a University of the Pacific student has made a decision to learn, live, and lead with purpose in mind. Here, it's all about moments that change lives, families, communities, economies, the world. At University of the Pacific, these moments give life purpose. They give us purpose too. After all, we share one future. Join us, University of the Pacific.
Every journey begins with a single step. Are you ready to take yours? Here at Modesto Junior College, we can help you begin. The college offers a variety of programs and opportunities, including financial aid. MJC students can transfer to four-year colleges after graduating. Our instructors will prepare you for a successful future in the field of your choice. If you want a quality, affordable education with unlimited horizons. Make Modesto Junior College your first step.
We are back again, and I'm just a few minutes enjoying and talking to you, and I will continue some interview. And if you like to say other things, please just go ahead, don't hesitate. And I'm going to ask you, what motives you start working this kind of field?
I actually have seen through my own life's experiences and the opportunity that I've had as a teacher that education has the opportunity to transform people, their families, and the communities that they live in. I know that from my research that communities that have higher levels of education are safer, they're healthier, and more prosperous, that more people find their way to prosperity. And I believe that universities have an important role in stepping outside of the classroom and going into the community to bring people together to think in different ways and to act differently around complex issues.
Okay, compared to different university or college, what the kind of type of student more likely, like a conservative student, or more like a, it's hard to explain, but what the kind of average student are?
Well, let me begin with just saying they're really wonderful, charming young people across our undergraduate, graduate, and professional programs. And they've been very kind to me, helping me find my way across campus, just as a for example. But students that come to University of the Pacific, I think, are looking for a very different type of education. They're looking for someone that will mentor and support them and teach them.
Nice.
In many cases, they're first-generation students. In other cases, they have decided that they aren't quite certain yet maybe where they're going with their education, but they want a broad experience that will help them to understand how they want to leave and impact the world. And so, given our role here in the Central Valley as the primary four-year institution of higher education, we see a very diverse student body. In fact, the university is ranked nationally as a top 15 university in campus ethnic diversity.
Wow.
And we're very, very proud of not only who we serve, but what happens when they leave the university. They thrive and contribute to their community and their profession in extraordinarily important ways.
Wow, that's wonderful to hear that. How is the University of the Pacific investing in Stockton?
Thank you for asking that question. It's one of my favorite ones to answer, actually. So when President Ibeck first came to the university about 8 years ago, she convened a number of conversations with the community to find out what is the way that the university, beyond being an extraordinary teaching and learning institution, what are other ways that we can act that will impact the community the most? And what we learned from those discussions is that improving youth early literacy outcomes would be the most profound way that we could make a path forward for youth in this region. So under the Beyond Our Gates efforts, we attack early literacy in ways that hope to ensure that more young people are reading by third at appropriate grade levels. We also have a series of academies that we work with community partners to ensure that young people have an opportunity to experience college and begin to think of themselves as college going. And so we also do much research in this area, and we come together as a community, not just as a university in isolation studying this. We come together as a community in a collective impact model to say, what is it that we should do together that will make a positive difference?
So how many professor or teachers, whatever, assistant teacher, how many employee work? Just the Stockton?
Just in Stockton, we have over 1,000 employees, And across the university,
counting on the staff and everything?
yes.
Not just the professor,
Right.
just...
Yes. Across the university, we have about 750 faculty, both part-time and full-time faculty. The majority of our faculty are full-time faculty.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And they're very talented. I get to spend time learning about their work.
I asked what the kind of type of student,
Uh-huh.
but the attending the student and what the kind of type and why those kind of type people is attending UOP.
I think that the University of the Pacific has been considered an important part of the fabric of this community for a long time. So if you grow up in San Joaquin, the university is University of the Pacific. And because of that, I think many youth aspire to be a part of that community. We hope that community members feel that our campus is their campus and come to the campus regularly. And so I would say that we see within University of the Pacific many generations of families that do come to the university from all sorts of backgrounds. A great example is Jose Hernandez, who came to University of the Pacific. His family really hadn't been in higher education. He left us and went to the moon to make the world a better place as an astronaut. Came back, and today he does academies, and he brings people to the campus, youth, to realize that they can reach for the stars and achieve their dreams. That's an example. Judge Callahan is someone who also graduated from our McGeorge School of Law, and she's the leading judge in the state of California. So all sorts of different types of students come to the university, those with very high standards and those who want to change the world and believe they can get that mentorship that's necessary, and the high academic standards to make them able to achieve what it is that's called upon them next in their life.
Maybe this is just not that question, but Dr. Ivek and then you, both three UOP's president, vice president, or every Sacramento, Stockton, and San Francisco, they do have president, vice president, or you and Dr. Ivek control all the three?
It's a great question. So the president oversees all of the campus operations. I'm part of the president's cabinet, which is a group of vice presidents that work in collaboration to make sure that we wake up in the morning and go to sleep at night thinking about students and all of our campuses and what we can do to be even better in serving their needs.
I see. Well, we'll be back soon, and thank you.
You are watching the Debbie Elliott Show right here on Comcast. Be sure to tune in every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and Thursday at 6 p.m. Thanks for watching.
At this moment, in Stockton, Sacramento, and San Francisco, a University of the Pacific student has made a decision to learn, live, and lead with purpose in mind. Here, it's all about moments that change lives, families, communities, economies, the world. At University of the Pacific, these moments give life purpose. They give us purpose, too. After all, we share one future. Join us, University of the Pacific.
Every journey begins with a single step. Are you ready to take yours? Here at Modesto Junior College, we can help you begin. The college offers a variety of programs and opportunities, including financial aid. MJC students can transfer to four-year colleges after graduating. Our instructors will prepare you for a successful future in the field of your choice. If you want a quality, affordable education with unlimited horizons, make Modesto Junior College your first step.
Again, Dr. McAfee. Okay. I've been having a great time with her, and time goes so quick. I have a last question I'd like to interview you. You married for a long time, 31 years, and even you look like 30 years old. I can't believe. And you have a daughter son. Is that your career is really affect your children? That gives some kind of influence from you? Okay. And another question is, your husband is always the same field?
No, he's not
He's
in
not?
education, but he is highly involved in education, living through all of my experiences as well as our sons.
Is that right?
Education, I think, has been an important part of my life. I'm a first-generation student
Yes.
in my own family. My parents were very clear that we needed to go to college. That was important. They hadn't had that opportunity. And so my husband and I set the same importance on education for our own children. And
I believe that too. Education is very important.
So important. And then
Yes.
continuing to learn, because
Yes.
you're never done learning.
No.
And so I think what we have in our family is a great appreciation for learning of all types and the need for continuously learning. And so we're regularly sharing information, or in some cases with my husband and sons trying to one-up each other on how much they know about a various topic. So it's a lot of fun.
So your both son or one of your son try to become a doctor degree and a professor, or
Not
No.
yet. I have one son that's working at Tesla.
okay?
And he has an engineering, computer science background. Another son that's in marketing field. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah, one of my daughters marketing field, and she's very success.
yeah,
She's doing great.
fascinating.
Yes.
It's quickly changing
Yes,
field.
yes,
Yeah.
that's great. Here now, I'd like to take a question from audience. Anyone like to have question? Yes.
I have a question for Dr. McAfee. Dr. McAfee, UOP being a private institution for higher learning, how do your students manage the high cost of higher education and it being a private institution? I come from a family of graduates from private colleges. How does UOP help their students get through that?
Thank you. That's a wonderful question. In fact, the university is very committed to ensuring that students that attend the institution have the financial aid and the means to support that opportunity for them. And what that means is the university contributes on an annual basis $61 million of institutional aid to support students in their pathway to achieving that education. We're able to do that because of the generosity of many of our alumni and organizations that believe in the power of a Pacific education. For example, if a student attends University of the Pacific and qualifies for Cal Grants, that means that their ability to pay for that education is lower than others, and the university will match, in many cases, almost twofold what the state of California will do to support those students. We want to welcome all students into the university. We want to make sure that when they graduate, they don't graduate with an enormous amount of financial debt. And we know that we're doing an acceptable job because our students graduate with approximately the same amount of debt they would have if they went to a public institution. And the university is offering a 4-year guarantee, which means in many cases they're finishing sooner and can begin working and paying off student loans if they choose to take those.
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful system. Thank you. Anyone else have a question?
Hi there. Thank you for being here today, and I have a great passion for education. I'm a former school board member here for Tracy Unified School District. And one of the things that I'm always looking at is job readiness. What are we seeing right now at UOP in terms of what the public wants, what students are going to want? What is the trend for getting students prepared for the workforce? Maybe it could have been 5 years ago, something like the medical profession was really hot. What are we looking at in trends, and how are we preparing that at UOP and for our students? And again, thank you for everything that you do.
Of course, thank you. Wonderful question. University of the Pacific, one of the things that I might say that makes us unique is that we are nimble and we are regularly responding to the needs of our communities and the trends in workforce. And the university has had a very strong history of having not only a liberal arts experience, but a very practical professional education. You're seeing more and more today that students, regardless of what degree program they're studying, that we're getting them connected with employers in the community for internships and cooperative experiences, or working in our community clinics so that they're getting hands-on experience. The university is continuing to grow our engineering as well as our health sciences fields, really important growing parts of our regional economies that we serve. For example, we're offering graduate degrees in analytics. Anyone whose industry knows that big data and analyzing that is a really important part of success for businesses and nonprofits that are trying to solve important problems. We're also expanding in health sciences. We just launched a physician assistant program at our Sacramento campus for the first couple years of study, and then the students will be all around the Central Valley and Northern California in clinical placements. There's a huge need for physician assistants and access to care. The Affordable Care Act opened up coverage, but it did not necessarily expand the number of professionals. We had over 2,000 applications for the first class of 45 physician assistants. And we're so proud that those students will go into clinicals here in San Joaquin and in the Central Valley, and hopefully they will become a part of the medical professionals here, an important part of transforming our communities. Another exciting program is our Media X program that we are getting ready to launch. We realize that media, we talked a little bit about marketing, but if you think about performing arts, you think about communication, how do we get information, how are we entertained, how do we experience things. And so we're bringing together all sorts of disciplines to create a Media X program so that students that emerge with that degree will be ready to take on key leadership roles. I think the other thing about the university that's important to know is that we've always put a priority on finishing in a reasonable amount of time. In fact, often sooner than other institutions might take for the same type of degree. We believe that you should never sacrifice the quality of the student or the professional to do that, and I think if you look at how our schools and students perform, you'll see that we're highly ranked, but in many cases we're offering doctoral programs in 3 years instead of 4 years. And so that gives our students an opportunity to graduate sooner and to begin doing the work that they feel they're called to do, and that's their vocation in life. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Dr. McAfee. I had a couple questions, and it kind of ties into what you had just mentioned there, as well as one of the first questions is because of education, the expense, as well as concern, to be able to get out maybe in 4 years. I understand UOP has a program, and you just started to mention it there a little bit, where you could do your undergraduate, but then also if they go on to do their master's and continue at UOP, they can expedite their years in college. If you could elaborate on that, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the university is continuing to look at all sorts of innovative means for ensuring that students receive a quality education, and that it's as seamless and they're able to emerge. So the university does offer a number of 5-year programs so that someone after 5 years can have both their baccalaureate as well as a master's degree. And the university is also continuing to look at different ways to deliver that education. One of the things that we know is that working adults are in need of ongoing education to continue to progress and to make a difference in their professional lives. And so as the university has looked to expand, we've looked to use technology in some ways to support access to education. So many of the programs that we may offer in Sacramento and San Francisco now utilize technology for a portion of the learning process. One thing the university was very clear in is that we never want to change what we believe is a hallmark of a University of the Pacific education, which is the deep personal experience. And so if technology gets in the way of that, then it doesn't serve the university well. But we've learned that in some cases technology does in fact allow us to reach a broader group of students and to deliver that education in a shorter fashion, so that someone might have to step out of school for a family situation if there were not a means that enabled them to find alternative ways to continue to access that education.
Thank you very much. This interview, I hope that the young people looking for to go UOP, I hope it helps them to more like, to try to go to Stockton or Sacramento, wherever, and enjoyed it so much. Thank you for my interview.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you soon again.
It was a sincere pleasure. Thank you,
Thank
Debbie.
you.
Thank you.